Hello, and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you were thinking of buying the Polar Ignite 3, but wondered what the GPS accuracy was like first, then you have come to the right place. I have an unorthodox way of measuring GPS accuracy, but the test results that I am going to show you will have some context. If you are new to my videos, I like to keep my videos short, sharp and to the point. That way you can get the answers you want right away. With that said, let's take a look at the final test results. And here it is. I do 3 different tests for GPS accuracy, and I rate each test out of 5 stars. During the tests, the Polar Ignite 3 did very well in the easy level and very hard level test, but the device did not do too well in the hard level test, earning a 1 star. In the end, the device gets an overall rating of 10 out of 15, which is a very good score. But don't worry, I will show you how I arrived to these final conclusions in the video. With that said, let's move on to the key discussion points of the video. Now, in this video, there is quite a lot of content to get through. If you are new to my videos, I always like to keep discussion points 1 and 2 short, easy to understand, and to the point. The bulk of the discussions will be based on the other points to talk about because I get to share with you my test results. For those of you that have seen my videos, I have created timestamps in the description, so you can skip to the parts that matter to you. So, those are the key discussion points. Let's now take a look at the GPS connectivity. In terms of GPS connectivity, the Polar Ignite 3 is very stacked. The device can connect to the global satellite systems, but not Beidou or QZSS. Well, does it really matter if you can connect to Beidou or QZSS satellite systems? Well, the answer is yes, if you live in China or Japan. But, if you live outside those countries, then no, because you won't be able to gain access anyway. The device does have assisted support for all the global satellite systems, which is a good thing because the device can draw upon other resources to gain GPS connectivity, such as cell phone towers. The Polar Ignite 3 does not have dual band frequency. So, that's GPS connectivity. Now let's take a look at how I test and rate a device for GPS accuracy. In terms of GPS accuracy, my system is fairly straightforward. What I do is, I complete the GPS activity, then I review the results, and then I head out to areas where the GPS accuracy has misaligned and measure out the distance. Then I tally up these misalignments and apply them into a category that you see. Once that is done, I can now rate a device. So let's have a look at the rating system I have for GPS accuracy. Now, all of the tallied up results can now be applied into the rating table that you see. The higher number of misalignments will obviously affect the device's final rating. But, if I find one major misalignment, the device gets an immediate 1 star. At the end of each test you will see these mentioned and pinpointed on the maps. Anyway, that's how I test and rate a device. Let's now take a look at the easy level GPS test results. When it comes to the easy level test, I like to choose a path that won't challenge the device for GPS accuracy, and see how it performs. On the left is a video of what the easy level test looks like at ground level. Notice that the ground is very flat, so your location should be easy to find. I do come across a slight gradient further along the path, but the elevation is not steep, but very gradual and won't challenge the device at all. Anyway, let's take a look at the final results for easy level. And here it is. As you can see, the 2 lines overlap each other perfectly in this test. The black line is the Polar Ignite 3's GPS activity, and the red dotted line is the planned path I chose for this test. In the end there were 0 major or minor misalignments, therefore the device deserves its 5-star rating at this level. In conclusion, I expected nothing less for a device that can connect to multiple GPS satellites with assisted support. And it should pass the easy test with flying colors. If you are someone that's unsure about planning your path, the video on the left is a good guide to help you. The path I have chosen is no different from any neighborhood block around the world. Just make sure that the elevation is flat or gradual, no tall buildings in the way, or any overhead obstructions like awnings. If you do that, then you will likely get the same results that I achieved in this test. Anyway, I hope this was helpful. Let's now take a look at the hard level test in detail, which is the test the Polar Ignite 3 did not do too well in. In the hard level test, 80% of the planned path that I have chosen is through a township. The main obstruction in this test is buildings that can cause a multi-pathing error. What that means is that the satellites need more time to pinpoint the device's location. This slight delay can cause an error if GPS accuracy, and that's what we are testing for in this video. On the left is what the hard level test looks like at ground level. The ground is very flat, so that won't challenge the device. You will notice in the video how close I am to the buildings, and that's where errors can potentially occur. I also do this test twice, once when the town is busy, and then when the town is not busy, just to see if the results may vary. Our town is fairly small, but some interference can occur. However, in the end, the results turn out the same. Anyway, let's have a look at the final results. And here it is. Where the blue cloud is on the map is where the town is located, and that's where all the errors are. The GPS tracking outside the blue cloud was perfect. In the end, there were 0 minor misalignments, but I did pick up 3 major misalignments in this test. Overall, the device deserves its 1-star rating at this level. Now let's take a look at the major misalignments in detail. Now, the black line is the Polar Ignite 3's GPS activity, and the red dotted line is the planned path that I have taken. As you can see, there is clear separation from both lines, and I have marked the areas 3 times, so yeah, it is what it is. The town that I live in is quite small, but the results could be far worse for higher density cities where the population is much higher than our town of 10,000. So, that is why the device gained a 1-star rating for this test. Let's now take a look at the very hard level test results. The very hard level test is my favorite test to do. In this test, the planned path that I have chosen for this test is through a track with dense vegetation with steep elevations. On the left is what the very hard level test looks like at ground level. The main challenge in this test would be elevations. During the test, there are so many varying elevations that can potentially cause a multi-pathing error. What that means is that the satellites need more time to pinpoint your location when you are up or down a steep elevation. Dense vegetation from above is also a potential obstruction, but I found that to be no issue at all. Other potential obstruction is cliff faces. This can cause same type of errors as the hard level test. Anyway, let's now take a look at the very hard level test results. And here it is. The GPS activity outside the blue cloud is very good, and I have found 0 misalignments. The only error found is in the blue cloud. In the end, the device deserves its 4-star rating at this level. Anyway, let's take a look at the misalignment in detail. As mentioned at the start of the video, a multi-pathing error has the potential to occur. The black line is the Polar Ignite 3's GPS activity, and the red dotted line is the planned path that I have taken, so a clear separation between both lines. There were no overhead obstructions, so that's not the issue, but before the black line deviates the way it did, there was a steep elevation before that point. I think that's what has caused the error, as the satellites needed more time to find my device when the elevation is increasing rapidly. Now, I have recorded the part where the error occurred on the left. I mean, it's no different to any other hiking trail that I have come across, but every device that I test always tend to fail at this particular point every time. Anyway, in conclusion, the result is still very solid, especially for those that like to do a lot of hiking. You are going to come across steep elevations anyway if you choose to do a path similar to mine, but do take it with a grain of salt when GPS accuracy can be affected. In terms of altitude accuracy, the Polar Ignite 3 is very accurate, and I will show those results in another video. Anyway, let's take a look at where the Polar Ignite 3 ranks in the market. Please note that the table that you see are devices that I have physically tested. As you can see, the Polar Ignite 3 holds its own. As you can see, I have a cluster of devices with the same rating as the Polar Ignite 3. A special mention that needs to be said is the Xiaomi S1 Active and the Huawei Watch Fit 2. Both of those devices have a similar GPS accuracy level, but both devices costs less than 50% of the Polar Ignite 3. Those two devices are great alternatives if you are looking for a cheaper option. Anyway, on to the final conclusion. In terms of user experience, I was expecting a lot better, but it just goes to show that technology can't always be trusted, and my test results have proven that. One of the positives is that your location can be tracked quickly when it is lost. That was proven in the hard level test, where the device has to deal with all the interruptions in our very small town. Another positive is the GPS battery consumption. This is normally a massive battery burner, but performed very well. I have done a video for battery life, so you should check that out. Thank you for watching. You can find more information about the Polar Ignite 3 at my website. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel for future videos.